Kay, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. I missed you last week. Josh got to speak to you, but
Why did you leave me with Josh?
I know. I thought, well, he was having a week in a boxing bubble. We had to give him something fun, so he got to speak to you.
Congrats to Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, but great to see you. There's a lot to talk about this week, some strange games and some interesting performances. So I want to start with Miles Sanders. He had a really good game this week with Jalen Hurts in as quarterback. He put up 115 yards, scored 2 touchdowns. Are we happier maybe starting him now that the Eagles have got a new starting QB? Because I feel like I've been burned by Miles Sanders in the past.
Yeah, I mean, this is his second 100-yard game of the season. He is someone that I was so high on. I talked to him a lot in the offseason about him having the goal of this being an MVP season for him. He was motivated. And then for whatever reason, this coaching staff has not been giving him the ball. 6 carries one week, 10 carries the next week. And if you watch Good Morning Football, and I hope that you do, I'm constantly saying, feed Miles Sanders, give him the ball, because when he does have the ball in his hands, he's running it effectively. The run game is working. He's running at a clip of 5 yards per carry at minimum, I think, the rest of the season. So now you have Jalen Hurts come in. He had a 100-yard rushing performance of his own, and he really opens things up for Miles Sanders. I expect it to continue, and I'm excited. It's been very frustrating, I'm sure, for him personally and for fantasy owners. But if you look at his schedule for the fantasy playoffs, you've got Arizona and Dallas. I would say he probably won't get as many targets through the air as we're used to, so his PPR points might suffer. But, I mean, clearly, I trust him, especially with those favorable matchups.
Well, you mentioned Jalen Hurts, and he didn't put up crazy fantasy points. But like you say, he rushed for over 100 yards. Now that we've got him starting, Mitch Trubisky had a great game. Drew as well performed well with 280 passing yards and 4 touchdowns against the Panthers. Are any of those quarterbacks going to be sneaking into your roster if you can get them on waivers?
Yeah, a couple guys that I love their matchups this week. Tannehill has the Lions. Rivers gets the Texans. Rivers looks great as well, a balanced attack. I think if you're in a bad spot, he's a good way to go. And then Trubisky, I've said this the entire season, Hannah. I think that they pulled him too quickly. I think they pulled him unnecessarily. I wish his leash had been a little bit longer. Over the past 3 weeks, he has been a top 10 fantasy scoring quarterback. He's throwing touchdowns. He's getting you a couple, 20, 15 yards on the ground there as well. So I think, 267 yards, was it? 3 touchdowns against the Texans. I loved it. I do like him a lot in week 15 against the Vikings. A nice matchup for Mitchell. And he's just throwing to Allen Robinson the whole time, and I couldn't be happier for him.
You can see the joy coming out of the Chicago girl talking about Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, I've always supported him. I'm glad he's getting his shot here. I'm not saying he's the option for Chicago in the future. I'm just saying he's anybody who says that he has not outperformed Foles is wearing Eagles colored glasses.
And while he's hot, get him in there. I want to take you all the way back to Thursday Night Football, actually. Los Angeles Rams against the Patriots. Cam Akers, who you and many others in the biz tipped to have a breakout game, and he did turn it up. It's been hard, hasn't it, to sort of judge who to go with running back-wise because the Rams have running back by committee. But after he put up that 171 yards and 2 touchdowns, are we now happy sort of selecting him as a starting RB2 or maybe even a flex? Have the Rams now found their running back for the run-in? Maybe the future.
Yeah, it's been a committee, but it hasn't always been so, right? We can all remember when Todd Gurley was running his way to 20 touchdowns as a LA Ram. I think they were looking for that, and I think that they're best suited when they can work with the run game that's strong and play and shut it down with play action. So I think they were just sort of waiting. Maybe it's being a rookie, maybe it's offensive line issues, maybe it's just getting up to speed, no preseason. He's officially broken out. And the reason that, Hannah, it was an easy thing to call was because you were seeing the snaps go up, the carries, the target share, all of that in favor of Cam Akers in that backfield. So it was a nice matchup. I knew he'd run wild. I didn't think he'd have quite the tremendous game he had, but I feel like there is no looking back now. Cam Akers, Seahawks, Cardinals, he's got some nice division matchups that are really favorable for fantasy. So if you took a risk on Cam Akers, I know he probably burned you, but he might just win you that fantasy trophy. I'd start him 100%.
I have to say, I took the advice. I started him. I got the win in that league. So happy days. Might be out of the playoffs, but still like to ruin the party for other people.
Hey, I'm happy I could do something for you, Hannah, this year. We ended on a good note.
We did. And for the rest of the couple of weeks, I think we will too. Okay. Have a great week. We will be keeping an eye out for your tips across Good Morning Football for the rest of the week.
Thank you. Have a great week.